So Tim Bolger is entering the Hall of Fame in mid-career. At least we hope in mid-career. Tim joined the Long Island Press shortly after the turn of the century as an editorial assistant. He was a researcher. He conducted stakeouts and worked with colleagues to address overlooked and underreported stories for Long Island's alternative weekly newspaper on actual paper, the Long Island Press. Among those stories, an early warning of Long Island's impending opioid crisis, the death of Massapequa teen Natalie Ciappa in 2008, and of unethical business practices by another Long Island publication. Tim's legacy project, however, was on behalf of the Press Club, an audit of compliance among Long Island municipal agencies with New York State's Freedom of Information law. Over 18 months, Tim and associates contacted and tested island-wide more than 190 municipal agencies. The report was released in 2017. The grade C. Have things improved then? Also in 2017, the Long Island Press was acquired by Schnepp's Media. Some will recall the role of Victoria Schnepp's in exposing criminally negligent conditions at Staten Island's Willowbrook facility. Now, for too many journalists, and many of us in this room, the word acquisition is associated with unemployment. For Tim, new management meant new opportunities at the Long Island Press and at the Heritage East End publication, Dance Papers. Joshua Schnepp and several of Tim's colleagues and co-workers, some are here tonight, gave one-word descriptions of Tim. And here are several words of description of Tim from the Long Island Press 2.0 edition's Jed Morey. Ready? Grumpy, bitter, acerbic, cynical, but he underlined those are the qualities of a top-quality journalist. Tim is uncompromising and diligent in pursuit of accuracy and the truth. It takes those qualities. Other words used to describe Tim: modest, kind, a leader, and most often heard, integrity. The poet Maya Angelou said, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. Here's what Tim says about himself in every publication, and it's in the third person, by Tim, ruthlessly edited by me. Quote, when he's not editing, getting hassled by the man, or fielding cold calls to the newsroom, he does a variety of reporting and cat herding. And he won't be happy until everyone is as pissed off about how screwed up Long Island is as he is. Tim may never be happy, but tonight we hope he enjoys the spirit of respect and affection among us and a well-earned measure of satisfaction. The O. Henry button on the story, sources say Tim's first Press Club award was in 2004. Here's your O. Henry moment as Cub reporter. Tonight, Tim Bolger enters the Long Island Journalism Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please greet the grumpy and acerbic Tim Bolger.
Good evening. How are you doing, everybody? Thank you for staying with us. I know you've been through a lot of awards tonight. I promise GPS did not, ChatGPS did not write the speech tonight. But I can't thank the Press Club of Long Island enough for this incredibly humbling honor. And especially my support of my staff, my colleagues, for even putting in this nomination. It's mind-blowing to never thought I'd see today. To be in the same club as Marie Colvin, Sasha Tiny, Joy Brown, Kieran Crowley, Carl Grossman, founder of this club, it's just mind-blowing to me. So again, thank you. It wouldn't be possible without the efforts of my tireless colleagues here, Michael Eschet, Alva Peterson, Taylor Vesey, Nicole Formisano, Steve Blank, of course, Josh and Big Snaps, and you know, those who first gave me a chance in this business, Robbie Bolger, Chris Dorowski, Edith Updike, and of course Jed Morey. Some of you guys might have heard of him. So to the aspiring journalists in the room, just want to say, you know, don't let the negative drumbeat of you know, bad news about the industry deter you. You know, it's more critical now than ever, I think, to stick with it and just, you know, as they say, sunlight is the best disinfectant. So, you know, keep shining that light, and you know, don't listen to the media blamers. So, I think you know, there was quite a few stories that Dave alluded to there. The biggest one, I think, though, that, you know, got me his name was the foil audit. It was definitely a labor of love with the press club. That was a team effort, definitely not all just me. But you know, I think you know, at the end of the day, we did help you know, inspire some reforms from some of these agencies. Not everybody. A lot of people were pissed off at us for even, you know, putting them through this survey and then you know, giving them bad grades for their reports on you know, how well they responded to our records requests. But you know, it was hopefully maybe made some of your jobs easier tonight, that you were actually able to get some records. So, you know, while you know, that was obviously a hard-hitting story. I think, you know, in defense of the lighter stuff, you know, I'd say, you know, it would be, you know, good to remember that in between all of those big stories, you gotta also cleanse your palate with some happy news to kind of, you can wind up in a dark place if all you're just writing about is crime and yeah, how corrupt everything is all the time. So yes, I know that intro was how cynical and grumpy I am, but you know, I do try and mix it up here and you know, write about some good news sometimes. And I encourage you all to do the same. It helps, I think, with you know, people who are trying to do good in the world as well. We can use our platforms to help get the word out about their efforts and you know, share some positivity with people too. Yeah, on that note, you know, I just want to say also I would not be here tonight without the support of my wife, Rachel. Thank you for being here, and my mom. And our three kids, Brianna, Molly, and Seamus, who inspire me every day and keep me grounded in reality when I'm off chasing windmills. And sorry for all the late nights and interrupted weekends and the grumpy deadline days. Yeah, I mean, it was a trouble. And P.S. Snowman, if you're listening, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you, everybody.